Eric Winwood back with you with more self-elevated EDF/spring powered universal exoskeleton armor updates. And I got my self-elevated helmet going on. And what I did is instead of having an elevated mechanism that's directly connected to the exoskeleton holding the helmet up, I opted to basically, if you see like a juggernaut suit, it's got the neck protection, it's got the front plate protection, and basically it's got the helmet. But what I did is went and basically I gave it the same capability for the neck protection and the helmet, and also I made it to where it's self-elevated. If you can tell, I got this piece of wedge here, metal. See, I slide it right up under there. It's because it's holding it up, the springs. And I got it to where it allowed to lift back and forward, back and forward. That was just a washer I had on there. Let me show you what I did with that. I'm putting the washer up here, and then I'm gonna weld it. I got one right here too, and I'm gonna weld it on top. That way I can run a wire down through there, and if I want anything on top of the helmet, I can put it on top of the helmet. Also, these bolts are kind of long. I'm going to cut them off. I still got a lot of trim work to do. Actually, I'm going to change those bolts out. That's why I got that nut on there. It's extra long. I'm going to find the right bolt, put it in there, cut it down, and it's going to look like that one above it once I finish that. Like I said, I'm going to do this for the washer. I'm going to weld one right over there. And then also, I got the front forehead plate right there. I got to trim it down. You see I got it marked. I got to trim that down. And basically, I can tell back, forward, left, right. It just turns inside of there, and inside of that dome. Okay. Well, another thing what I'm doing, the reason why I said another reason why I had like 50% more protection, because literally the back side of the helmet, I'm going to take the helmet out, and I'm going to go inside of there, and I'm going to do a fiberglass layer. And it's going to leave the metal grid on the outside, but basically it's going to be our composite shield. You can do it in Kevlar, different kinds of composite, different grades of Kevlar. But right now I'm just going to do E-glass and do a plate, like a half bowl inside of there. But basically I'm going to take it off and flip it over, and I'm going to put tape in there to fill it in, and then I'm going to fiberglass the plate inside. Flip it back over like this, and then I'm just gonna go over with resin to actually bond the aluminum structure to the fiberglass plate I formed. Okay. Also with the collar, another special feature I did here is it's got a battery box built into the back of it. I still gotta trim it down, and I'm gonna trim it all the way down to the bow here. Once I trim it all the way down and trim it a little bit off of here, I'm gonna put a plate. That way it's going to enclose it. Also, I'm going to put a plate on the bottom and account for the neck and the collar, just like I did over here on the exoskeleton. I'm going to build another plate just like that, but it's going to account for the bottom of the battery box, stick out a little further, and that's what I'm going to put up under there. Okay. It's got built-in flashlights. Got the built-in flashlights. There you go, you can see it. Okay, turn it back off. Got the built-in light. It's just enough to see where you're going at night. Turn the light back on. Booyah. Okay. But I like it. It looks really nice. Another cool thing is, if you receive any impact on top of the head or in the back, the structure, it's going to be really strong with the fiberglass. But the impact is basically going to be absorbed by the structure instead of the back of the helmet. Instead of somebody hitting you directly on the back of the helmet, and you feeling that blunt trauma to the head, you're going to feel a little bit, because you're going to still feel force. But in a little force, but yes, it's gonna be like 50%, if not more or less, than what you would normally feel somebody striking in the back of the head also. But like I said, when I do that Kevlar in there, if I do it just to stick to the helmet, it'll basically be able to stop any pistol round before you even get to the helmet. So theoretically, I'll be able to take a pistol round all in the back of that and it won't even compromise the helmet at all. And then I also added that aluminum plate back there, took it off the helmet and actually put it on the bow. But with that, coupled with the Kevlar, and like I said, it's going to give you double the protection that the helmet would normally have, if not more, especially if it's got to travel through one of the aluminum structures. I want to use actual titanium structures to do the same thing. I like the grid. It's not done. Like I said, I still got to do fiberglass into it. I still got to build a caps for the battery box. And it's also got another hinge piece that goes on the shoulder to allow this neck piece to actually shift back and forth. And that coupled with the spring, and then this bolt acts as an axis to turn your head left and right. It's gonna have a little bit more range of motion once I trim this off. But all in all, it's looking good. And like I said, 50% more protection, self-elevated helmet. And like I said, I designed it to either rest on the shoulders or have another axis on each shoulders to where the collar tilt back and forth. And the cool part about that is, like I said, even though it's resting on the shoulders, the way I designed the exoskeleton with the shoulder overs and the back piece that's locked into the spine, basically all the weight on the back piece is transferred to the legs, to the ground. The shoulder overs, I got them hovering over my shoulders, so even though if I put a backpack on, I don't feel a pressure on my shoulders with the exoskeleton. So if this sit on the shoulders of the exoskeleton, I still won't be feeling the pressure of it. And then when I put if I do the axis on there, like I said, it's gonna give me better tilt back and forward because it's gonna be tilting on the collar and the springs. And then like I said, turn left, right. But this is Eric Greenwood, and I'll be back with you with more self-elevated updates. And like I said, with that battery pack, you can have cooling fans in there, which I'm going to put cooling fans in there too also. You can also run your night vision. You can run heads-up display. Whatever you want to run electronically, whether it's a built-in radio, whatever, it'll run off of that battery in the back. That's why I said I would put the washers here. That way I can run wire out of the back through this tube up the spring structure and to anything. Even if I put a little intercom speaker on there, to where like if you want to talk through a mic and you have a speaker that amplifies your voice. And then like I said, you could still do the pieces that actually amplify your hearing on there also. But like I said, this is a stream prototype, and I'm basically getting the functionality of it. And most likely, even once I get this to perform like I want it, I'm still going to rebuild the thing again and make it even better. But other than that, that's looking very nice. I'm very happy with it. Like I said, holding itself up. And you can see where I put that washer on there, where I'm going to run the wire through. Like I said, I got a lot more trimming to do. I got to change out bolts. I got to cut that bolt down. I got to cut that bolt down. So I still got a lot. I mean, just alone when I do finish doing the trim work, especially with the front plate, it's going to look a lot nicer. And like I said, the same thing in the front. That plate right there, aluminum plate, it'll take any pistol around up to around a Desert Eagle. It should be able to take a Desert Eagle. Like I said, I was shooting 9 millimeters at it and just bing, 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 bing. It just basically carving a little indention, not even 1/8, about a 1/8 of an inch dention. I mean, only a 1/6 of, 1/5 of how thick it is what that 9 millimeter bullet was doing to that plate when I tested it. So like I said, you could shoot that plate, that front plate, and that face plate, the lower plate. I can unload this sucker right here, my Nina, and that sucker. I can unload that bud right there, and that sucker. Boom, 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 boom. And the only thing you're gonna hear is pew, 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 pew. It's just gonna reflect off of it. Like I said, this Nina, if I shoot this directly in the forehead, it's not even gonna stand a chance getting through the aluminum plate, letting on the Kevlar helmet. But this is Eric Greenwood, and I'll be back with you with more self-elevated EDF/Bring Power Universal Exoskeleton Armor updates. Thank you. Have a good day, night, or evening.